I'd met Charlie a few times. I went to University of Florida. I got a picture with him right here. I do think this is a both sides issue. But I feel like the nature of how politicians talk about the other side, if you were to boil down essentially how the right talks about the left, to me, and I'm sure Dan will probably have a different thought. I feel like it can generally be boiled down to crazy. That's how the right talks about the left. They're dangerous because their ideas are crazy. When you look at how the left talks about the right, it can generally be boiled down to one or two words, pick your choosing, evil or hateful. They're dangerous because his ideas are evil, hateful, racist. And comparing those two words, I mean, which one of those two is more actionable? Which one of those is more of a call to action? We can point to Paul Pelosi, but you can point to Brett Kavanaugh. You could point to the
How
congressional
about how
baseball
about
shooting.
how about January 6th and election denialism? Did you point to those as
Absolutely, that was horrific. And I had stepped away from politics for the longest time because I thought that was atrocious.
right?
I
So
think
again, I just there's a little repetitious, but I'll just say
okay,
I have a huge project that's immediate now because if the left does not understand more about why Charlie was so important, we're going to have an explosion in this country because the anger is coming on the right. But you
yeah,
all need to do your part too. You all need to do your part too, and not just say, "Oh, January 6th, was an unfortunate, horrible day." That's an
Yeah,
asymmetry.
I mean,
Dan, hold on a
I
second.
think
Sean,
it's sorry.
Sean, thoughts, Sean.
Let Dan go first. He's
Okay,
jumping.
go ahead.
Oh, I think. I mean, again, I think both sides look at the other and say some stuff is crazy. I think both sides say the other side is evil, right? I think the way people have talked about immigrants at times has crossed from a policy debate to way more than that. I think sometimes when people talk about transgender stuff, not on this show, some people take it way more than just a policy dispute, right? And again, I go back to it just takes one crazy person to hear a call to arms, so to speak, and say, I'm joining the army. I'm going to sacrifice myself. And it scares the hell out of people. Democrats for 8 years thought Barack Obama could get shot. And they thought, and there were attempts, someone broke into the White House once wielding a knife. I mean, it's tragic that Charlie was the one who has been killed. And I get it. And I get who he was. And I get his importance to the movement. It's heartbreaking.
Sean,
Logan, you went to would you go to the University of Florida? Is that what you said? Let me ask you a question. Someone walked around campus with a Obama or Biden hat or T-shirt. Would they feel safe?
He's
Oh,
muted.
he's not muted, or he needs to
oh,
unmute.
sorry about that. Go ahead.
no doubt.
Okay. If they walked around with a red "Make America Great" hat, would they feel safe?
It's probably a little different than
Yeah.
it
It's
was
not probably,
a few
Logan,
years
with all
ago.
due respect.
No,
Not probably.
what he's saying is it's not as dangerous now as it would have been 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe it's a little less dangerous now. You, as I said, Charlie spent his time on campuses for a reason. Conservatives are not allowed on campuses. They are shut out. They are literally not allowed, been canceled. I've had more events that you are told, sorry, we can't handle, blah, 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 but they have no problem having some random leftist. You look at
hmm
corporate America, where they have literally made it very clear that your views and your positions are not welcome. And if you don't adhere to a DEI woke agenda by using pronouns in your emails, you will suffer HR consequences. You look at what Hollywood, late night, the media has done. Think about Tom Cotton. He proposed an op-ed in the New York Times, and people went apoplectic, fired people because you can't dare have a different voice. The big difference in this entire debate is that I have no problem listening to someone on the left. I have no problem with dissenting voices. The left will not allow people on the right to speak their mind or have a voice. So this whole argument about both sides, I can coexist with people on the left. God knows there's plenty of them. I live in Northern Virginia. But the people on the left don't want to coexist with people on the right. That is the fundamental difference in this. The entire reason that Charlie Kirk did what he did was to bring a voice that was missing from the dialogue. That's the difference. This isn't a both sides. We're not equal. And this idea, yes, there's violence. Yes, there's rhetoric on both sides. I have freely admit that. But the idea that we're even close to being equal, the left controls every major institution in this country and shuts out anyone on the right who has a dissenting view. Think about all of the between technology, academia, Hollywood, government, big corporate America, it's all entirely not just run by the left, but to silence the right. This is not even close to being equal.
Logan, thank you.
That was a delicious video experience. I think you'll agree. Now, what you need to do in return for getting to enjoy that is hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss a thing.